Who is Zitka the elephant? Taking care of her was one of Dick Grayson's chores, and so they were very close. Not only that, but she once saved Dick's life. She truly is the best elephant. How did Jason Todd and Dick Grayson first meet? It all starts with Nightwing agreeing to meet Babs for a stakeout. However, instead of Babs, he finds Jason the new Robin waiting. Confused at being replaced and now being part of a test he didn't even know existed, he follows Jason. It's safe to say that they don't really get along well. Later on, they have a heart-to-heart while Nightwing introduces Robin to a new world. Not only that, but the famous nickname Little Wing is given to Jason. At the end, they finally work together and save Alfred, that is, after getting saved by Batgirl. Who is Batcow? You might have seen her before, most notably in the Super Sons movie.
You have a cow? Of course I have a cow.
Batcow is a cow who was saved on one of Batman and Robin's adventures. She was rescued from a slaughterhouse that was run by a group of criminals. The adventure ends with Robin keeping Batcow and becoming a vegetarian. Did you know one time Tim Drake got hit with a brick? Once, having received an anonymous letter with only a puzzle piece inside, James Gordon called Batman and Robin to investigate. They end up chasing down Arthur Brown, also known as Cluemaster. Though they don't really have any evidence, so they let him go. Meanwhile, Stephanie Brown is the one sending the clues while wearing new vigilante clothes. When they do find her, Robin chases her down. He finally takes off her mask and gets a brick to his face. Did you know one time Tim Drake fixed Jason Todd's hip joint? When a future Tim, wearing the Batman cowl, visits the present to try to change the future, he finds resistance from all of the Bat family. Eventually, on one of the battles against them, he reveals Jason was going to have a bone spur on his hip because one of the bones never got set right. He gets rid of it, very violently might I add, but at least he's worried about his brother enough to do so, for effort. Did you know that Batman and Superman are childhood friends? After the death of Bruce's parents, Alfred tried to cheer him up by going to the countryside. However, in the middle of the trip they had a flat tire, right next to the Kent farm. While Alfred fixed the tire, young Clark invited Bruce to play with him. Unfortunately, Bruce did not know how to play baseball. So they switched to fighting, which worked out better. The sad part is, they don't seem to remember knowing each other. Did you know? One time Nightwing found a lost John Kent when he was still a child. After almost getting hit by laser, he took of his and Batman's masks to scare John less. He calmed down John and distracted him by showing him tricks and giving him a lollipop. Not only that, but that was the first time they met. Talk about good first impressions. Do you know Jarro? Jarro is the genetic son of Starro, a giant alien starfish with telepathic abilities. Starro was able to create smaller versions of himself out of pieces of him that were torn off. After Starro sacrificed itself, Batman kept a genetic sample in a jar for studies, of course. From that sample, Jarro grew. Jarro would go on to spend a lot of time with Batman, calling him his dad, and eventually becoming a Robin. He dreams of being the best Robin to Batman. How did the original Titans meet? Part 1. It all starts with Robin, Kid Flash, and Aqualad receiving an invitation to the Haddon Corners Teen Club. When they get to the club, all of the town's teens had disappeared. The three heroes join forces and save the teens from building a monument. Later, they save the whole town from Mr. Twister, so I guess hooray. Not only that, but they solve a quarrel between the adults and teenagers of the city. Follow for Part 2. How did the original Titans meet? Part 2. After the last adventure, Robin founds the Titans and invites Wonder Girl to join. They go to Midville where destruction is being caused by Separated Man. Turns out the original Separated Man is trying to stop the destruction. He fights alongside the Titans. Eventually, they defeat the villain and each returns to their mentor. Did you know that Jason Todd and Kid Devil were pen pals? Kid Devil and Jason Todd started being pen pals in Blue Devil issue 19. They were both attacked, each on their own, by a villain. While writing to each other, they realized it was the same bandit. And so they teamed up to defeat the villain, cornering him in the Red Eye Express.